Welcome to EasyEuge, the channel to help you to learn maths super easy, super fast. And in this video, I'm going to explain what percentages are and how to convert any percentage into a fraction and also into a decimal number. So if you're ready, let's get started. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click like on this video, and make sure that you watch all the way through to the end for question of the day. So let's start with a definition of what a percentage is. Well, it's a number or ratio expressed as being divided by 100 or per 100. So what do percentages look like? So it's a number with this percentage symbol at the end. So there's 10, and this symbol means percent. So the word percent means per 100. It's very simply per 100, because cent is very similar to the word century, which means 100 years. So if you have something that is percent, or a percentage, it's a number divided by 100. So let's start by looking at 10%. So this is 10 out of 100. So if we write that down, this can be written as 10%, or 10 out of 100. And that's what 10% looks like as a fraction. Now you have just converted your first percentage into a fraction. So if you're ever asked to convert percentages into fractions, very simply take the number and divide by 100. So let's do that again for 40%. What would this look like? Well, you write down the number that you see, 40, and it is percent. That means per 100. There we go. 37%, this is a very different looking percentage, is 37, that's the number, simply divided by 100. And there we go. There's the first three done. Let's move on to some more common ones here, like 25%. That can be written as 25 over 100. It's as simple as that. 100%. Now this would be 100 over 100. And we know that 100 divided by 100 equals 1. So I think we could start simplifying these fractions. So let's do that in a moment. Let's finish with 0%. What would that look like as a fraction? That would be simply 0 divided by 100. So there you go. That's your first look at converting percentages into fractions. Now you may be asked in an exam or in a question to convert a percentage into a fraction and then simplify it. So I would recommend my YouTube video called Simplifying Fractions to show you more about this. But let's just take a look at this one here, for example. So to simplify a fraction, whatever you do to the top number, you must do to the bottom number. So when you simplify fractions, you bring the numbers down. You try and make it as simple looking as possible. So what could we do to the top number that we could also do to the bottom number? I think we could divide by 10. So let's write that down as the top number divided by 10 all over the bottom number divided by 10. And what would that equal? Well, 10 over 10 is 1. And 100 over 10 is 10. So 10% as a percentage is 10 over 100 as a fraction, and it can be simplified down to 1 over 10. We could simplify this one here to 4 over 10. I'll let you work that one out yourselves. This one's a little bit trickier because we can't do something to the top number that we can also do to the bottom number. So this one would stay as 37 over 100. 25% is a very popular percentage. It's 25 over 100. That would simplify to 1 over 4. And 100%, it's 100 over 100, and that would simplify as 1 over 1, or simply 1. And 0%, it stays as 0 over 100, which can be simplified as 0. Okay, let's take a look at converting percentages into decimal numbers. Here we have 6 brand new percentages. So let's convert these to decimals. So the first thing that we do is we convert a percentage into a fraction, and then a fraction into a decimal. Just like I've put here, we convert a percentage into a fraction, and from a fraction into a decimal. Let's do it. Let's start with 23%. We know from the first part of the video that is very simply 23 over 100. There you go. That's your fraction. How do you convert a fraction into a decimal number? Well, you very simply write down that number 23. And we know that 23 as a decimal would be 23.0. It's the same value as the number 23. So to divide by 100, locate your decimal point and move it 2 places to the left. Let's do it. Let's go 1, 2, and the decimal point goes there. Now this fraction is 0.23. Or, to make it look a lot tidier, 0.23. And there you go. You've just converted your first percentage into a fraction into a decimal. Let's check out the rest of them. 50%, that is 50 over 100. There's your fraction. Write down the number 50. Make it a decimal, 50.0. And then move your decimal point 2 places to the left. So 50% is 0.5. And we can drop off the other zeros because they have no value. 8%, this one is a little bit trickier. Let's write this down as a fraction. That would be 8 over 100. Correct. So how would we convert that into a decimal? Write down the number, turn it into a decimal, 8.0, and jump 2 places to the left. Let's take your decimal point and go 1, 2. There's your decimal point. And we jumped over free space here, so we have to put a 0 in there. And now the number is 0.08. Or, to make it tidy looking, 0.08. So that's what 8% is as a decimal. So always remember to put the 0 back in. If you got 0.8, that would be incorrect. The answer would be 0.08. Okay, let's move on to 75%. What would that look like? It's 75 over 100. You know the routine now. Write down the number, put on a decimal place, 0.0. It's got no value, so when we add it on, it's still 75. And jump 2 places to the left. We're dividing by 100, so we'll move 2 places. There we go. So the answer is 0.75 as a decimal. 10% would be 10 over 100. And we know what to do now. We can speed up a little bit. It's 10.0. Find the decimal point, 12. There you go. So the answer is 0.1 or 0.10. 0.1 is a perfectly good answer. And finally, 110%. And you might hear some people asking you to give it 110%. That means give it all you can plus a little bit more, an extra 10%. What does this look like as a decimal? Well, it's 110 over 100. It looks a bit strange. Don't be afraid of it. That's the fraction. What does that look like as a decimal? Simply write it down. Put your decimal point on and then jump 1, 2. So the decimal point goes in there. So as a decimal, it's 1.10 as a decimal. There you go. You can now convert any percentage into a fraction and any fraction into a decimal. Welcome to question of the day. What is 67% as a fraction, and what is 67% as a decimal? So all you need to do is follow what you've learned in the video to convert these percentages into fractions and decimals. Leave your two answers in the comments of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.